figured I'd go ahead and walk you through a couple things I did with the car. As you saw, I uploaded a video where I went to a small cash days event out in Cole County Raceway, and then shortly after that I went out to US 41, did some practice runs the next day. But anyways, at the track, the car felt like it was running good. I couldn't get the car off the line to save my life. At best cutting a 1/7/60 foot. That was, I mean, foot braking, so I mean, my expectations obviously weren't very high, but I was only able to build about 2 pounds of boost with the manual boost controller, and you know, trying to get up on the chip, which just wasn't happening for me. But anyways, so I decided to make some changes. I can go ahead and walk you through those real quick. Talk about a couple things too as well. So when I was at the track, I found out that I had uploaded a tune on accident at some point, like I said, over the winter when I was just messing with stuff. I must have uploaded the tune that I originally had on the car when I first swapped over to the bigger turbo and the 210 injectors, which was a very conservative tune. So I was down 3 degrees of timing on the big end. The car was, like I said, it felt like it was running good, but in all actuality it was just kind of being a pooch. And to combat the build and boost off the line, I figured I'd go from the manual boost controller setup to the dual max solenoid setup, and instead of running CO2, I'm just going to run an air compressor. So I'll go ahead and kind of show you guys what I got going on. You've probably seen these in other videos. They've been on the car and ready for about a year now. I just haven't done anything with them. I had them plumbed in and ready for whenever I decided to go that next step, which that's today. As you can see, I got my vacuum line in. I just got to get the laptop out and get it all programmed. For you guys wondering, this is the fill and this is the empty solenoid. This is coming from my air tank. Down here is going to the bottom of the wastegate. Let's see here. Yeah. Now, I will be taking the dome sensor, this sensor up top. I'll be taking that dome sensor out and tapping another hole in the top of the dome to allow for that to be separate from the vacuum line. People say it can misconstrue the signal and stuff like that, so I will separate the two of those. But that top hose you see with the connector right here, that actually goes to a T right here, and then that line goes all the way over to the other wastegate on the other side. Same setup, except for I only got, like I said, one dome sensor. So that's that. The bottom port, I have the bottom port on both wastegates are teed together, and then they're going to the turbo for reference. Ooh. Let's see here. Now the tank has already been turned on. It works. Let's see here. See if I can get this to focus here. So I got about 75, 80 pounds of pressure in the line. The tank is set to cut off around 100, 105 psi in the tank. So as you see, it shuts off at 105. I'm not quite sure why it bleeds down a little bit. I couldn't find any hissing. I went through all the lines. I checked around the tank without any line pressure to eliminate any leaking issues around there. Which, I mean, it was probably fine, to be honest with you. But and in here, I just got a dial there to increase and decrease line pressure. So that's that. And then I got to get on the Holly, so kind of get a better look at it. But yeah, this is what we got now to control the boost. I will be adding another adapter on. Let's see here, there we go. I will be adding another adapter here, bringing this out, and then adding a pretty much just like an air inflation for the tires adapter, and something similar to this right here. I'll be able to use either or, you know. But essentially I'll have a hose, and it'll be another T, something similar to what's under there now. I'll route that off here, I'll move this fitting back, and then I'll be able to air my own tires up at the track. And, you know, or my buddies or whoever else, you know, might need air kind of on the fly, you know, if we go down to Mexico or whatever. But, you know, no, I'm pretty pumped. Like I said, I just hope I can get I just gotta get the rest of the Holly software figured out and make sure that I can control the solenoids. But no, the car's been running. I mean, unlike last year, which was a very unfortunate year, I think last year I went through 2 or 3 motors. One of them was due to my own ignorance. Or actually, 2 of them were actually due to my own ignorance, but, and it's like stupid hot outside right now, but no, at best, because I was running the wrong tune, I left off, the last time I went to the track, I was only trapping, you know, 137s. Like I said, I was down on timing. 10.3, I think, was like, you know, the best I could do. But yet last season, I left that year off running a 10.06 at 141. So, I mean, the power is there. I just had to add the power back into the car. I also went and, I don't know if I made a video on it yet or not, but I have to look. I mean, like I said, I know I've been doing horrible at it. But, you know, I got a 9-inch now. Viking coilovers all the way around, front and back. I did have a 325 50 15 on the back of the car on a beadlock welds, but I went ahead and took. So I'm in the midst of changing the tires on my beadlocks. And I got a bust a bead on the back of the wheel, so might be a little risky, but I'm definitely going to try using the lift to do this. Took those off and put just small tire on there, 275 60 50s, or 15s, I mean, and then put the cooler in the back, trans cooler. I will be spacing that out. It seems as though the more I get to driving and stuff like that, or if I beat on the car repeatedly kind of hard, that has a hard time cooling the trans fluid down. 3.5 inch aluminum drive shaft. All the hardware and all that I got from Eric Vickery down there at Midwest Chassis. I mean that's right now, that's about where I'm at right now. You know, hopefully I can control the boost, turn it up, and meet God with this tune. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, let's nasty. I also went and got couldn't at the time quite afford weld RTSs, but the next best thing was Forge Stars. They have essentially it's kind of like a replica kind of the weld RTSs, half the price. These wheels are 28 tall, as is the back, so I mean it looks uniform, but honestly these wheels are almost too big. Turning corners, it does want to catch the fenders. I sat there beating my alignment with the hammer for, oh God, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, just trying to smack the lower control arm around to where I can get all that to fit. See if you can see this as well. That's not doing any justice, but actually here we go. There you go. Also went with a essentially an upper control arm plate or upper strut plate from Midwest Chassis. It allows for you to pretty much just bolt the Viking coilover straight to that. So if I ever have to maintenance anything, I can just literally unbolt the shock instead of fighting doing all this and taking that down, which anybody who owns an F-body knows that that's a pain in the ass. So, but yeah, you know, simple. I will be doing a manual brake conversion at some point, just to kind of get some of this, you know, crap out of the engine bay. So that will be going. I'm keeping my power steering for now anyways. I mean, I still have a manual steering rack that at some point, you know, when it comes time to swapping my K member over, because this is actually set up for a Pinto rack style, my steering rack that I have, I could just keep that, and if I wanted to and a day comes when I go with Midwest with the Midwest Chassis K member, I can just reuse that. And I stopped using it at one point because with the adapter, it puts the rack and pinion way too far forward, so the tie rod ends ended up rubbing on the inside of my torque thrust wheels. So I ended up taking those out and just put a stock F-body power steering rack on there. The reason why I didn't originally is because this was an LT1 car, so, or at least my first car was an LT1 car. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. Stay tuned as always. You know, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. Have any questions, feel free to ask me. I mean, you know, we're all in this together at the end of the day, so if I can help you out, so be it. You know, if you got questions, shoot away. Also, if you want to know the madness, yes, it's going to look kind of terrifying, but for those of you wanting to know, this is how I got everything set up back here. You know, I just got it tucked behind the mat, or underneath the mat anyways. And I am running dual 450 Walbros, so I just got the essentially 2 positives, 1 negative, and positives obviously go to each pump, and they both share the same negative. Everything's fused. You know, I just threw some extra fuses in there in case I pop one for any reason. But she works, she does her job. Haven't had a problem with it yet. I just took steel zip ties and zip tied the fuel pumps together and threw them fuckers in there. So this is it, boys. Said, got any questions, feel free to ask me. Catch you guys later.